Good evening, dear sisters and brothers. Welcome to the evening session of Being Heartful Every Day with Swadhyaya. As we are continuing with the theme of the flute through which the divine sings, today we reflect on another quiet transformation that unfolds on the path, the refinement of inner responsiveness. When the heart becomes clear and unobstructed, it begins to respond naturally to the subtle movements of divine guidance, much like a flute responding effortlessly to the breath passing through it. In heartfulness, this responsiveness is not cultivated through anticipation or control. It emerges as an inner sensitivity, deepens, and alignment with the higher flow becomes natural. A flute does not resist the breath, nor does it anticipate it. It simply remains ready, clean, tuned, and still. Its responsiveness lies in its preparedness, not in effort. Similarly, in the spiritual journey, responsiveness is born when the heart is free from rigidity and excess conditioning. When the impressions soften and inner clutter clears, awareness becomes refined. We begin to sense what is needed in each moment, when to act, when to pause, when to speak, and when to remain silent. This responsiveness is subtle. It does not announce itself through dramatic intuition or outer certainty. Instead, it appears as a quiet clarity, gentle inner consent, and a feeling of rightness. Transmission plays a vital role here, fine tuning the heart so it becomes sensitive to the higher promptings without confusion or personal overlay. As the sensitivity grows, life feels less reactive and more attuned. The heart listens before it responds. And in this listening, the divine current finds a receptive pathway for expression. Dear sisters and brothers, as we move ahead in the session, we request you to please share the Heartfulness Master Classes and the BHED sessions with your near and dear ones. You may also introduce them to these sessions both evening, morning, which offer a gentle foundation for deepening our understanding of various themes. You'll find the additional reading material and videos of Revered Daji for this theme, which are available on the Heartfulness app dated 1st February. So you can explore them in your time. And with this, we will now resume our inspirational reading, which we started which we started reading from the article in the Heartfulness magazine titled "Being with the Guide" by Daji. We will resume our reading from here. In heartfulness without transmission and grace, the practice loses its essence. The guide serves as a conduit for both. If ever you feel the need to confirm your bond with your guide, pay attention to your heart. The mind may always question, as that is its nature, but heavy, persistent doubt in the heart is a clear sign. If your heart feels unsettled or unburdened, it likely means this person isn't meant to guide you. If you ever feel genuinely unsatisfied, you always have the freedom to walk away. The choice is yours. It would be better to walk on your own than to entrust your progress to an incapable guide. On the other hand, when your heart feels content, don't entertain mental doubts forever. This is the time to commit and focus on your practice. Prepare yourself. These days, many people approach their spiritual guide primarily for help with worldly matters. Overwhelmed by daily struggles, they often think, if my guide isn't going to solve my problems, then what's the point of going to him? They tend to visit him on special occasions, birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, housewarmings, new jobs, or business venture, or to share grievances about others. But what happens when we approach our guide with such specific request? The very act of expecting, whether for material gain or spiritual advancement, creates a distinct barrier. That expectation becomes a block, preventing the natural flow between the heart of the guide and ours. The guide may be ready to give far more than what we ask for. By limiting ourselves to small transactional desires, we miss the great possibilities. What is a true blessing? It is something that helps us solve the mystery of life and fulfill our soul's purpose. If even once in your life you receive such a blessing from your guide, how insignificant it seems to ask for birthday blessings. A lot, therefore, depends on the attitude we carry into that meeting. It is extremely rare for someone to approach their guide with no expectation, only pure love. When such a thing happens, it reflects the true spirit of Nishkam Karma, the desireless action extolled by Lord Krishna. When the heart is free of expectation and full of sincere love, a true guide naturally responds. No words are needed. In that moment, a deep connection forms between the seeker and the guide, a quiet communion where both hearts understand each other completely. This inner resonance happens effortlessly. Both begin to vibrate in harmony in total silence, without the need for explanations or reassurances. But when the heart is crowded with constant desires, repeating the same patterns year after year, this natural connection is delayed. What could have occurred in a single moment may now take many lifetimes to unfold. Unfortunately, there is often a lot of shame and guilt amongst people that can prevent them from coming face to face with their guide. A disciple may think, I have not done my practice these past days. I am in no condition to see him. Then someone nearby further hinders him, saying, move along. He doesn't want to meet anyone. Maybe true, maybe not. But this paradoxical approach to being with one's guide has to be well understood. When to avoid being an imposter, and how to connect with him despite distances. But we mustn't forget that personal work is the catalyst. Through regular spiritual practice, day after day, we shape and prepare our hearts to receive what the guide has to offer. You may meet him every day, share meals, and converse with him. But without your inner efforts, the mere presence of the guide cannot stir up any miracles. In the presence of the guide, the inspiration and pull to sit in the guide's presence can only come from within. Too often, I find that certain individuals, such as new seekers or children, are pushed in front of a spiritual guide prematurely. Without any foundation in spiritual practice, it's difficult to appreciate what the guide offers in that moment. Special care must be taken with children. There is no point in pushing them to do anything in front of the guide that they are not used to or comfortable with, such as offering pranams, saying namaste, taking prasad, or behaving a certain way in the ashram. All these are sure to build up resentment and cause them to rebel against the circumstances. Is it not better to approach the guide with a heartfelt sentiment? When a sincere disciple leaves home to meet their guide, their inner anticipation is of love, yearning, and eagerness. When they are about to come into his proximity, they enter with gentleness and a prayerful heart. They walk lightly, carefully. All their ideas, wishes, and opinions drop off naturally, at least for the moment as they prepare to accept whatever it is the guide wishes to impart. Ideally, they will not try to analyze the guide or draw conclusions about his actions. That is unbecoming of a disciple and only blocks the subtle work he is trying to do. In the guide's presence, our sense of individuality must take a backseat, and even if it doesn't fully dissolve, a true disciple at least maintains a respectful inward silence. Dear sisters and brothers, we'll take a pause, for it is time to offer the universal prayer. Let us fill our hearts with lot of love and offer this universal prayer from our hearts. All brothers and sisters are being filled with love and devotion, and real faith is growing stronger in them. सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है. May this offering attune our hearts to divine love and unity. Dear sisters and brothers, thank you for joining this evening. And as you prepare for the rest tonight, take a few moments to offer the bedtime prayer and the reflections of the day. And with this, we conclude our theme of this week. And with that, may our hearts become increasingly receptive, sensitive, and aligned, ready instruments through which the divine may express itself with ease and harmony. And we look forward to being together again tomorrow for the evening session at 8:50 p.m. Until then, wishing you all a very good night. Thank you.